All right, so we're gonna be reacting to Moist Critical. He has a video saying it's already getting worse. This is about PCs and RAM and things like that, how they're getting super expensive. Like I saw it recently that memory and RAM is like triple the price now. Like getting a 2 stick of RAM that's like 32 gigs, total like 64 gigs, 32 gig sticks each, like 6,000 megahertz would roughly cost you about like 250, 270. That's when I got mine, which was like about probably like a year or 2 years ago. Now it's tripled the price. Usually now it's like $600 or $700, which is insane. So let's go ahead and let's check this out, because this is insane.
Hey there, chum. It's me, your positive pal Charles, and well, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be singing a bit of a different tune today, and I know I'm usually known for my optimism, but I just heard the holly jolly news that one of only 3 RAM manufacturers is bowing out of selling RAM to ordinary average consumers. Instead, Micron wants to shift its focus to AI. Not an exaggeration, by the way. There is only 3 big Holy.
Yeah, so apparently, the whole thing with like AI and the data centers that are using, it for AI, they're being apparently the big hit right now is RAM, and that's what's happening. So we already know what happened like during COVID. It was like a little bit before COVID, but like mainly it was during COVID, where we had the what was it? We had, the crypto mining and stuff, and people were buying GPUs up the wazoo. I know like the 30 series cards, those were like pretty scarce because a lot of them were buying 3090s and 3080s, and they were really hard to get, especially from scalpers and things like that. So apparently that is nothing when it comes to this, when being compared to the RAM and everything, because these are actual companies that are buying all these memory sticks and stuff.
Hey, I'm Porky Pigging. I'm so upset. There is only 3 big RAM manufacturers out there, and Micron, crucial, they are now just bending over and taking the AI dick in the butt, and is instead just giving the big double middle finger to all ordinary consumers out there, which will obviously drive the price for RAM even higher. In an announcement on Wednesday, Micron says it's winding down its consumer-focused business.
Wait, Micron is retiring the Crucial brand, marking the end of a line of budget-friendly solid-state drives and RAM kits, as reported earlier by Video Cards. In an announcement on Wednesday, Micron says winding down its consumer-focused business and will improve supply and support for our larger strategic customers in faster-growing segments, aka AI companies. So they're just shutting it down for everybody. Damn, that sucks. They said that the brand's shutdown is a huge blow for PC builders and hobbyists who are already dealing with skyrocketing RAM prices linked to a surge in demand from AI companies. OpenAI, for example, struck a deal with SK Hynix, I believe, and Samsung to make up to 900,000 DRAM per month for Stargate project. Damn.
And will improve supply and support for our larger strategic customers in faster growing segments, aka AI companies. So Every Joe Schmo out there, I hope you're ready to start Googling how to download more RAM again like it's 2005, because it's about to get confusing with these prices. It's going to be bad. Now let's take a peek at the doomsday scroll here. Micron will continue crucial consumer product shipments through the consumer channel until the end of the fiscal Q2. Company will work closely with partners and customers through this transition, will provide continued warranty service and support for crucial products. Micron will continue to support the sale of Micron branded enterprise products to commercial channel customers globally. The AI-driven growth in the data center has led to a surge in demand for memory and storage. Micron has made the difficult decision to exit crucial consumer business in order to improve supply and support for our larger strategic customers in faster growing segments. Thanks to a passionate community of consumers, the Crucial brand has become synonymous with technical leadership, quality, and reliability of leading-edge memory and storage products. We would like to thank our millions of customers, hundreds of partners, and all of the Micron team members who have supported the Crucial journey for the last 29 years. Also, big fuck you, we're leaving. Thanks for making us all this money and making us a very attractive target for AI companies so we can suckle their fucking titties, and now you can suck our entire asshole. Bye, nerds. That part was ad-lib. That didn't come directly from the chief of business officer at Micron, but that's basically what he's saying. This decision reflects Micron's commitment to its ongoing portfolio transformation and the resulting alignment of its business to secular, profitable growth vectors in memory and storage. By concentrating on core enterprise and commercial segments, Micron aims to improve long-term business performance and create value for strategic got me tripping over my words, for strategic customers as well as stakeholders. Micron intends to reduce impact on team members due to this business decision through redeployment opportunities into existing open positions within the company. Understandably, this news hasn't exactly been a slam dunk here. It hasn't been received very positively from ordinary people because this is them hawking a loogie in your mouth. They are spitting on you. And I have a hunch that they're not exactly shedding tears over it. In fact, if I was to cosplay the upper echelon zombies in suits at the head of Micron, this is probably how they reacted to all of your blabbering about their decision. A whip and a nay-nay on that financial ruin, nerd. God. It is them just openly stating proudly, yeah, we're exiting the consumer space and instead just going to serve AI. It's more lucrative.
It's almost kind of like how the game industry is like, I guess it's like how it is with EA with the game industry, where it's like they used to be public, like public trading and stuff like that, and on the stock market. And then since they got bought out by Saudi Arabia and like 2 other companies as well, they went private. So it's kind of, I guess it's in like comparison to like, you know, yeah, I guess in comparison, it's kind of like their version of going private because they're like, oh, well, we're no longer selling to you guys. We're selling to only the AI companies. So I don't know. I wonder if it's if there was like a certain reason why they did it. Like, was it like partly of sales? Like, obviously they did sell a good amount, but like, were there people choosing other types of RAM compared to Crucial? Is that the possibility? So I'm curious about all this stuff.
Good luck. And that's it. They sail off into the sunset. The numbers I was seeing online, Micron accounted for 26% of this consumer market that they are now exiting.
Oh, 26%.
Pretty big shoes to fill. That's an awfully large hole. That's an awfully expensive gap that's going to be left, with most likely a lot of pain in there for your average ordinary consumer. And here's something I've been saying for a while that a lot of people like to bite my ass for about being too doom and gloom, but it's only going to get worse. I have said this for a while, and people love to like celebrate AI when it's replacing people's jobs that they don't like or they don't respect. Like recently, I saw a lot of people celebrating the AI dubbing from Amazon because it replaced voice actors they didn't like, so they were laughing, ha ha ha, you got replaced by AI, ha ha ha, won't happen to me, ha ha. No matter who you are, no matter what your job is, even if you don't have a job, even if you exist as a fucking slug man creature with shit-stained britches every day and night just cruising the internet, AI is indeed affecting you, because this is not going to be the only company to make this decision, by the way, but even this company making this decision immediately fucking affects you, goofball, because you are now going to be paying more for your experience of if you build a PC or if you're even buying a PC or something. All of these things are getting more expensive as companies continue to bow down and swallow as much meat as possible to the AI overlords and forsake the ordinary consumers in the.
Yeah, and that's also the other thing that's a huge issue is PC building used to be like a fun hobby to do. Now it's becoming the rich person's hobby, because the only thing we had to worry about, 5 years ago, was the GPU being so expensive. But, we already have NVIDIA with their whole AI and stuff like that, with like the 5080s, 5090s. And it's just going to build up more and more and more as we get later on with the cards. That it's like it's not necessary. Like you have these GPUs like a 5090 selling for like $3,000. I looked on Newegg and looking at 4090s, and they're selling about $2,300 just for a 4090. I can kind of see the reason why for the 4090s, because like obviously they're starting to become scarce, because Nvidia no longer makes them, so that's understandable. But like seeing $3,000 for a 5090 GPU, I understand. I guess like the 32 gigs VRAM that's in it, which helps gaming a lot, where you could play at ultra settings and live stream at like the highest quality and not be affected. I guess that's like a good reason to do, but other than that, no. I think that it's gonna get more and more and more expensive. Also, CPUs back then, CPUs were at a fairly good price, and now they're pretty expensive too, like $600-700 for a CPU. We're looking at motherboards. Motherboards are about probably like $400 to $700 for a decent motherboard. You gotta like wait until there's like Amazon Day or like freaking Black Friday or something like that to get like a decent motherboard for like $200 or $300. So it's crazy. Or you have to go to like actual stores like Micro Center and get like one of those whole bundle deals, things like that. So it is tough. It's really tough seeing that PC building is now becoming a rich person hobby, and I guess this is pushing people to start just buying pre-builds. But the thing is, a lot of people like to have builds because, like, for example, I'm just going to speak for myself. I could have got a pre-built, but instead I built my first PC because I wanted to know the ins and outs of my PC. I wanted to know what is actually compatible, what works, what doesn't work. And if I were to upgrade it, or if there was an issue and I needed to fix it, I already know what I need to do to take to replace like RAM, or to replace the graphics card, or to put thermal paste onto my CPU type of thing. I don't have to like take my computer to the manufacturer, like pay money to ship it to the manufacturer, have them fix whatever it is, and then have them ship it back to me. I could just simply do it on my PC right now. Now my gaming PC, obviously I'd have to send it to Alienware because it's Alienware PC. So, but yeah, it's just like it's becoming a rich person hobby, and like now it's hard for people to actually come up with the parts to build a PC now, a decent PC, especially when it comes to the gaming, because with gaming, now we're looking at future frame generations, and like using AI also with with like graphics and things like that as well. So because with AAA games, how this is becoming more reliant, that's the reason why people have to start buying these graphics cards, which sucks because it's a lot of money. Like there's no way that a graphics card should cost your rent or your mortgage. It should not.
Pursuit of this fucking nebulous idea of the future. And I've said since the very beginning, there is a lot of positives that can come from AI when it's utilized in sectors that make sense, such as like in the medical field or for like bulk data collection, stuff like that. There's a lot that we can benefit from as human beings, but it seems like the gold rush, and where tons and tons of unfathomable amounts of money, oodles of cash is being poured into, are into like the creative sector, where it's looking to replace humans for cheaper, where it's looking to get rid of humans in general because it's cheaper for companies to rely on AI once.
Yeah, sorry. It's just like for an example in the gaming industry, where a lot of jobs from North America are being outsourced to other countries because it's a lot cheaper for these companies to pay people in different countries, like people in Colombia, people in like Europe and things like that. It's a lot cheaper to pay them than to pay people here in America, which sucks. So now this is like the next step where they're like, hey, instead of just paying them, why don't we just have AI do it? Now my whole thing when it comes to AI, especially when it comes to like testing games and things like that, people are saying, oh, it's easy, like people can do that. That this can easily take over somebody's, like this could take over many jobs of, QA testers, which is true. But the thing is, you still need somebody to operate that AI. And the thing is, you have to make sure that it's doing its job. If it doesn't do its job, like if it lets a whole bunch of bugs go through, or it detects something that can later cause an issue on the development cycle, then what can you do? Like, then you have to go back and recode it. What? So if it goes down that route, I'm curious to see how that process is going to play out. I don't think there may be some times where it's like, okay, good. It caught this, but then as time goes on, I feel like people may get complacent because it's just human error. There may be some complacency, and then what happens is it could potentially really break the game.
The technology is there. And what you are seeing here is an example of, in this pursuit, companies are going to start latching on because they can find more money by selling directly to these AI brands that are pursuing this, as opposed to even worrying about normal consumers. It's bad for everybody. I don't know why some people are struggling to come to terms with that, or plugging their ears to it. No matter who you are, no matter what you do or what you don't do, you are being affected mostly negatively by AI right now too, Buster. And like I said, I can't imagine this being the only company to make this decision. I'm not saying the other two RAM manufacturers are going to follow suit. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I have no way of knowing that. I just feel like this is the first domino to fall in what will likely be quite a few other big brands choosing AI over ordinary consumers. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are just getting started here with this fucking disaster. This shit is poop, man. It is so stinky. And it's like I said, only getting worse. Now, I don't even know why I feel the need to bring this up, but I'm going to anyway. I have, of course, seen cope with people defending this, saying that it is short-term pain for long-term gain, where they believe at some unspecified date into the future, this will actually be so good for consumers. We just have to grit our teeth and bear this for a little while, and it's going to be green pastures and sunshine and rainbows very soon. We'll be living in a utopia thanks to all of this. Yeah, Micron abandoning us may hurt now, but we have to look at it from their eyes. They can make a lot more money now, which means in the future, we can get things better. It'll be cheaper in the future.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Somehow, once all these data centers are built and they're going to start caring about ordinary people then, and that's when it's great for us. We just have to wait until then. Okay, I'll believe it when I see it. Would love that to be the case. Don't see that happening at all. This feels like it's short-term gain, long-term gain. Fuck you to the flesh and blood. AI is the future. That feels like that is the entirety of this plan. Anyway.
That is also another thing where it's just I wonder if, because I see it in a bad way, because say for instance with Micron, it does do very well and everything. What stops Corsair with their RAM and other G Skill or Trident with their G Skills and stuff like that, their RAMs, they all go to these AI data centers. And then pretty much the consumer market is completely locked out of, purchasing RAM. Then how are you going to be able to build a PC? You won't be able to. So that's another thing. And then later on, when it comes to generative AI, probably frame gens and stuff like that, where it becomes a priority in graphics cards, NVIDIA, if that happens, then what? And then they start doing lockouts because they want to push those towards certain things with AI. Then what? We won't be able to have a GPU. We won't have RAM. You won't have a gaming PC. And then I guess we have to go to pre-built, but then how is that going to affect, companies like Alienware, Corsair, A1pha, Power GPU? How is it going to affect those companies, knowing that the consumers are closed out, but what about those vendors? Are they going to be closed out as well, or are they still going to be able to purchase, GPUs and RAMs, but it's at a higher cost, which means that their prices are going to have to drive up as well. So it's just not fun for everybody. Not fun at all. But let's see what he has to say at the end.
This is a joyous start to the impending RAM crisis. Big thanks to Micron. You guys really knocked it out of the park with this one. You nailed it. This is some good stuff. So looks like 2026, we have our start date for the big problem in the consumer PC space. Get ready to start forking over huge clams in the near future. Really fucking terrible stuff. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering about it. That's about it. See ya.
Yeah.
Hey there, chum.
Oh, yeah, that is insane. That is crazy to see what's going on with just gaming in general, I guess, with everything of that nature. It is, oh man, it's so wild. But yeah, it is crazy. I'll make sure to have his video linked down below in the video. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.